let's really look at multiple regression in terms of significance and looking at the difference between a model and a slope. And so we're going to use some data here that'll allow us to delve into this, and we're going to look at winning percentages for baseball. Now, you don't need to be a baseball fanatic to understand this, but if you can just imagine that with the different things, obviously you have wins listed, you have batting average, that's what BA stands for, and that's a measure of hitting, and then you have ERA, which stands for earned run average, and that is a measure of pitching. So you have two different components of baseball. One is hitting, one is pitching, and we want to see if these have significant relationships to winning percentage, as well as we want to be able to predict each one based on that. So is it better to have good pitching or good hitting? We can look at the data and see what it tells us. So there's different models that we can do here, and you can see that we have model 1, which that just refers to batting only. We have the one for model 2, which refers to pitching only, and then we have model 3, which includes batting and pitching, and that looks like this, the third one here. Now when we're talking about model, we're really referring to this area right here. And so when we look to test to see if the model is significant, we are going to be using an f-test and looking for significance based on the p-value that's given. Now, again, that's for the model itself. Also, these measures up here tell us the strength of the model, and you can see, first of all, an R value of 84.8495 is pretty high. And according to the R square value, we have 71% of the variation in winning can be explained by the batting average and the ERA. So looking at that, that tells us our model significance. And then you can look at each individual line to be able to determine the individual significance. So I'm going to look at batting average here just as a second. And a couple of things that we can see there is, first of all, the p-value is 0, which means significant if it's less than 0.05. You can also see that it has a high t-score that goes along with it. And you can also look at its slope here to see that for each point in batting average, the number of wins goes up by 3, which is good to see. And then we're also going to talk about confidence intervals for each of these slopes. And you could see that if I was to draw and put 3.275 here, we can then have our confidence interval around that using these two values, and it gives us a range of values that it can go from. So again, we're going to look at individual, and we're going to look at joint significance. We're going to do hypothesis tests for each type, and then we're also going to get into a lot of model building here as we get going through this chapter.